Hello and welcome to Thread and Yarn, my knitting, sewing and quilting, natural dyeing, sometimes gardening podcast. So it's been a little while since I've caught up with you. I thought I'd do a little video about September and everything that's happened this month, things that I've made and designed, things that I want to make, and just have a bit of a catch up really on some knitting, sewing and natural dyeing bits. It's getting a bit darker here now. It's about 5 o'clock and you might be able to tell from the light, but it's getting a bit darker, and I've got all my lights on and I've just lit a candle, so it's definitely starting to feel like autumn. The weather has shifted over the last week or so, and it feels much more autumnal. The mornings and the evenings are really quite chilly. We've had to bring the quilt down for our bed, and I've got my nice wintry pyjamas on. So my projects, I think, are starting to reflect that. If you have watched my channel for a bit or know me in real life, you'll know that I am obsessed with this time of year. I love autumnal colours. Which is lucky because I think they are probably my favourite colour palette, and I love this time of year because it makes me feel so inspired. I just want to do all the cosy things. I want to be going out for nice walks, and I want to be coming home to some nice soup and some knitting, and I think the things that I like to make and the things that I like to surround myself with kind of reflect that feeling. And I think that's a nice natural feeling. It is for me anyway, after having had a very busy spring and summer where we all go, and I'm managing the veg garden and working on quite a lot of projects. I'm starting to see the sort of transition into the darker and slower half of the year, and I'm really ready for it. I love being busy and I love projects, but I quite like reflecting on my energy throughout the year, and I'm definitely getting to the point where I just need to slow down a little bit, and I need to rest and nurture and kind of get cozy, rebuild some energy, and enjoy all of the hard work over the last few months. That's kind of where my head's been at, I guess, over the last couple of weeks, and why I love autumn. I mean, there's so many reasons I love autumn, not least because Halloween is just around the corner, and I'm always been really drawn to that holiday, and I got some various exciting things that are happening for it this year. I'm going to give you a bit of an update about what I've done over September and some of the exciting plans I've got coming up. I've got more news as well about the knitting retreat, which Lucia and I have been working really hard to plan, and should be up for booking within the month. So that's super exciting, and I'll give you more details later. I'm going to show you some of the yarn that I've been dyeing for various festivals and also for my website, and some things that I've made, including the bramble skirt, which I'm also wearing one of now, and some projects I've got for autumn, because I'm hoping to have some of my more organised projects and worky bits done by the end of this month, start of October, because I've got my own personal project plan that I'm very excited about, making things for me in October and November. So that's what this episode is going to be about. I hope you enjoy it. I hope the light's not too dark and that you can embrace the cosy mood. Hopefully it won't end up being an entirely candlelit podcast. We'll see. Hopefully you'll be able to see me. Anyway, let's get started. So I thought I'd just start off talking about what I'm wearing. Some of these are old makes and one of them is a new one. So I'm wearing the Merchant Mills Miller waistcoat. I've got one in a black cord as well. It's a lovely light layer. I've made it in this linen that I think is from Ray Stitch, their natural linen. And I really love these cute little contrast buttons. And it's lined here. I've got a video about it because I made a matching sort of set with some protea pants as a kind of summer suit for a uni 10-year reunion. since we graduated, I think. Oof. Anyway, I'll put the video up for that where I talk a bit more about it, but it's a great layer. And then I've got the Cyclamen blouse. I think it's by Lisa Meek Sews, maybe. I'll put the details up. But this one's very special to me. I've talked about it quite a lot before, but I used my great-grandmother's, which had been handed down through the women in my family, ribbon, from a ribbon box I got given. So this is like over 100 years old, this ribbon. And I know you can find this cotton ribbon, this edging, in quite a lot of vintage markets and things. I've seen it a lot since, but this one was very special to me because all of the women in my family are very creative, and it just felt like I was sort of connecting to a heritage of the women, even though I never met my great grandmother. It just felt really nice, and my granny said that she would have loved it if she'd known that I'd have made a shirt with it, because it sounds like that would have been right up her street, just like the other women in my family. So that's very special to me, and I saved this blouse for, at least I always feel like I'm putting it on for sort of special, almost like celebratory moments. And I wore it when I took some photos for the bramble skirt, which I'll talk about in a bit. I also wore it when I took photos for my bilbo vest, my first sewing pattern. And somehow, yeah, it keeps coming out at these little moments, these real like celebration of creativity moments. So yeah, I like to think that that's me sort of channeling that creative spirit of the women in my family. Anyway, so they've got, well, yeah, this blouse at least certainly has a lot of meaning for me. And you can't fully see it now, but I'm wearing a bramble skirt. See if I can tilt my camera without knocking the whole setup over. Here you go. You can see a little bit of it. It's this blue check linen with from Simply Fabrics Brixton, and it's got little bits of burgundy in it. And I will put up a video of me wearing this skirt properly because I'm in a very limited space in this room, and it's hard for me to show you a full-length outfit in this spot because I've got a bed frame about here. So I'll put up a proper video and you'll be able to see it. But it's the bramble skirt, which is a tutorial, a free tutorial on YouTube that I put up maybe like 3 weeks ago now. It's gone quickly. And it's just a skirt that I've made before, that I've had in my head. It's very simple. I think it's the perfect beginner sewing project, and I wanted to share it with you. So if you haven't seen that already, here's the video, go check it out. It's just based on your measurements, so no grading needed, and which is one of the reasons I put it up for free, because grading is very expensive and time consuming, but also I want it to be accessible. There is the option to leave a donation if you have the resources to, but if you don't, you are very welcome to use it. And if you can, I'd love to see your version, because the versions have been coming through to me over message and email and tags on Instagram, and in real life. I've had somebody make it in real life and show me in person, and yeah, it's really, yeah, oh, it almost makes me feel emotional, because it's just really amazing to see that it's giving people confidence or bringing them joy and they've had a good time sewing it, and it's, yeah, or if it's like their first project, getting them into dressmaking and taking control over their wardrobe. That makes me super happy. So thank you so much to everybody that's given it a go, because also you're putting investment in yourself by getting fabric, and I appreciate that. And yeah, I'm super happy that people seem to like it and that they're having fun making it. So yeah, maybe give it a go if you haven't, and if you have, maybe let me know what you thought of it, because that would be nice. But this is a brown linen. It's slightly heavier weight than my blue one, and it's in a lovely, it's called Muscovado linen from Ray Stitch. Really nice, soft, but quite weighty linen. I've put inseam pockets in, doing my particular way that I like to do inseam pockets. And on this one, I've done some cute little pin tucks, which I just think give it a really nice, like, fun detail. It's almost a bit historic, but I think I don't know, maybe it's the fabric or how you style it. You know, you can make it not feel historic if that's not your vibe. Sometimes I like to feel like I'm in Outlander. Why not? The good bits of Outlander, of course, not the scary, horrible bits. Anyway, before I start talking about Outlander loads, this is the bramble skirt. And I've been wearing them quite a lot, especially as the weather's turned. I've had a few questions about how to make it appropriate for winter. To be honest, I think this is pretty appropriate, this heavy linen. When it gets to read like proper winter, I mean, when I say proper winter, I'm in the west of the UK. The coldest it's ever been while I've lived here is -6. Now, I appreciate in some countries that is not a deep winter. But what I would wear in that kind of temperature is some wool tights and maybe I made some bloomers. I don't know if you remember, I'll put up a video where I talk about those. Maybe it's layering it up with some bloomers. We have long johns as well. I assume other places wear long johns or call them long johns. You might call them something else. They're kind of like leggings, but they're sort of thermal. And nice pair of proper wool socks. Yeah, like proper 100% thick wool socks and boots and a nice cosy jumper. All the layers, basically. And unless it was, you know, really freezing, I would wear this. But I don't have, you know, -20 degree, I'm talking Celsius, of course, because I'm in the UK, temperatures in the UK. So let me know if you try it in some properly cold weather and what you wore it with, and if you have any tips, that'd be great. Somebody asked me if they could make it with a very heavy cord, like a jumbo cord. I did say that I thought that would be difficult because of the gathering, but I think a lightweight needle cord would be good. But maybe you could reduce the width. Anyway, before I start going on about that, that's the bramble skirt. Check out the video. I'm a big fan of it. I'm really enjoying wearing it with this shirt again and with this Miller waistcoat. It kind of make this waistcoat and shirt combination kind of make me feel like I'm an artist in Paris. That's the vibe I'm getting. We'll see. But I've been wearing it a lot with my Bilbo vest as well, like I did in the video that I showed you. So that's a big thing that I've been working on and enjoying wearing and making. The other thing I've made for me, sewing wise, I'll talk about some knitting in a bit, are some ninny culottes. So I made bob pants for the first time, and I showed you my July video, I think, and loved them. I've had ninny culottes sort of on my mind for a while, but I think I already felt like I had a lot of other elasticated trousers. I did a bit of elasticated trouser review on my Patreon, so if you're a Patreon member, you can go have a look at that. But basically I summed up that having the ninnies and the bobs are very different trousers and completely different to the Pomona trousers that I had already had the pattern for. And I love the ninnies. I really like the bobs as well, but the ninnies I've worn so much. I used quite a tough black linen from Ray Stitch, and they've been really durable. I wear them most days until it starts getting a little bit colder. I'll just grab them and show you. Here they are. The only problem is it's difficult to tell which is the front and the back. I need to put a label in. I think I have to look at my bar tacks for the pockets. Yeah, that is the front. Yeah, that's the front. Yeah, I think they're great. I think they're going to be really cool for autumn as well. I don't have anything black really, certainly not in like a trouser or a skirt. So I think it's going to be really fun to layer up. I think it would look cute with this outfit actually. Nice to have something a bit more moody. Yeah, I'm a big fan of them. It's hard to show you here, but I'll put up a photo of me wearing them. I wore them with my Bifurca vest that I finished in the summer, which I love. Really love. I'm hoping to layer that over some dresses this autumn. Big fan of these, super comfortable, and will definitely make again. In fact, I have plans to make some more. But really wearable. I just love stuff like this because you can just put it on. It's so comfortable. Like sometimes I just don't want something fitted around my tummy, or I just want to slouch up on the sofa or curl up with some knitting, or do some gardening, and they're just great. Yeah, not much else to say really, other than I'm so glad I gave them a go, and I'm really gonna definitely make some more, hopefully this autumn, winter. Those are my finished sewing bits, I think. Not so many over the last month or so, but that's, you know, that's good. Don't want to just keep making. I do have more knitting bits because I've been busy working on some knitting patterns and also knitting some samples because I've got some markets coming up. What shall I start with? Well, I'll start with, I'll start with these because I really love these. It's just a sweet little thing. I made a little pattern for my Patreon members for their autumn box. And it is this little mitt. I actually just really wanted a mitt for myself because I'm often cycling into, we have a lovely market in Stroud on Saturday mornings, like the best farmers market ever, in my opinion. And I cycle in most Saturdays, and the weather's, as I said, sort of on the turn, and I really just wanted something to go over my knuckles, but not like a complete glove or complete mitt, not yet anyway. And I like sitting and knitting outside as well, but my hands are starting to get a bit stiff from being cold. But I also just wanted some dexterity still, so I made myself some little fingerless mitts. Here they are. And these are knitted completely in naturally dyed yarn by me in one of my yarn bases. And all of these colours have been toned using the walnut tree by my house. So that feels lovely, and it's super seasonal because the leaves are turning now and I think they've probably lost a lot of their pigment. But I dyed up a lot of these in July and August, and the base of the yarn is white, but I've got an exhaust of the bath here, which is where a lot of the dye colour's been used up, but it just gives this lovely sort of soft warm brown. I had a deeper brown from the walnut that I then put in a madder bath to get this rusty colour. And then this is walnut as well, this yellow, but I left it soaking in alum, which is an aluminium mineral like modifier, which sort of shifted the colour of the yarn to this lovely gold. It's such a warm gold. I've got some hanging up on the wall behind me of the same, and it's just so vibrant, so autumnal. I can't believe that all these colours come from the same tree just outside my door. This also was dipped in walnuts, it had a day or two on walnut, and then I dipped it in the indigo. That's why I'm talking about dipping, and it made it this lovely, like muted, slightly tealy blue. And I just thought the colours look so lovely together. They're all sort of from the same palette because they're from the same tree, and this is a massive tree. So taking a few leaves has not affected it in any way. But I made these little bundles for my Patreon members, so that's in their autumn box, along with the pattern to knit the mitt. That's the yarn one, so there's a fabric one as well. But I have quite a lot of these, so I'm going to put some of them on my website. So hopefully by the time that you watch this, once I've edited this video, hopefully in a couple of days, you'll be able to buy the pattern and also the little bundles of yarn. And I hope you like them because I think they're super sweet. It's in this soft Airedale fleece, which is a blend of Blueface Leicester and Masham. It's just really soft 4-ply. It's got a lovely handle, and it's just taken the dye beautifully, and it's when you've blocked it, it just blooms so nicely, and it's super cozy, super soft. I've done like a twisted rib around the cuff, so I really like the look of that, and then I just did a simple cast off so it rolls over the hands, and I call them the market mitts because I wear them cycling to the market. So that has been something I've been working on, and I'm super happy with that. Some of the kits will have a slightly green one as well, where I dipped one of the yellow ones in indigo rather than the brown ones, so you can choose. But I'm also going to take these to the markets I'm going to. So I should tell you about the markets in case you're local. There's a Tetbury Wool Fair. It's the first year they're doing it in the Tetbury Goods Shed. I've got a stall where I'm selling some of my yarn and also some of my knitting illustrations. There you go, there's an autumn one. There's a little bookmark I did. I'm very excited about that. Tetbury is like an ancient wool market town going back to the Middle Ages. So it's got a lot of history, which is why they're wanting to celebrate it there. And a lot of keen knitters in the Cotswolds. So if you're around, it's on the 20th of October, which is a Sunday. It's free to go in, or you can donate because it's a community enterprise. I'm going to take my mitt off now. And oh yeah, while I'm talking about Tetbury, I designed a sock pattern for them, which is free for anyone who comes to the fair. I'll pop it at some point on my Ravelry as well, but yeah, it's a free pattern for the fair, and it's called Sheepfold because I wanted to celebrate the Cotswold sheep breed, which obviously there are lots of in the Cotswolds and around Tetbury, and they've got this lovely white creamy fleece, so that's them. Yeah, I wanted to celebrate what the land around me has been used for centuries, which has been the rearing of sheep and the processing of their fleece and the wool trade. So this sock is a bit of a celebration of that, and it's knitted in my Jacob winter sock, which is like a very heavy 4-ply. If you decide to make any socks from it, it knits up like just a bit thicker than a normal sock yarn, closer to a sport weight maybe, but it is 100% Jacob wool, and it just makes the most beautifully like dense cozy winter fabric. I think it's going to be the perfect boot sock. It feels quite historic, which I love. In fact, I bought some a few years ago. Oh, I'm wearing them now. Take my word for it, I'm not that flexible. But a few years ago, I was really struggling to find 100% wool socks. I didn't want to buy any with any plastic in. I just wanted 100% wool so they were completely breathable. And yeah, I found some 100% wool socks from, I think it's from Ireland. And I bought 3 pairs, and they are beautiful, and I wear them all the time with boots around the house. I'm wearing them now, wear them in bed, and I've never had a hole in them. I think some of them are starting to get a little bit thin on the heel, but it would be perfect for darning. And then I realised, because I found one of the labels in the bottom of my drawer the other day, that they're 100% Jacob. And there's a little note on there about how Jacob wool is historic wool for sock knitting. And I mean, it feels very hardy, and that's why I chose it in the first place. But it made me really happy that I'd had these Jacob wool socks in my drawer and in my life for years, and that I was knitting from that same yarn that has been a traditional sock yarn. So it feels very appropriate for this sock pattern. I have got some colours as well to show you of that yarn. They're all piled up and it's ready for me to start labelling for the market, but this is a rust colour. So I really like, I don't know if it's a bit faded in this light, but it's quite a deep reddy browny rust, which is going to be a different colourway of this. I'm calling all the different colourways after different sheep breeds. So this is Cotswolds. This is going to be Shetland, because it's going to have some like brown and white sheepies in it. But it's been fun trying to dye up different yarn and seeing how the colours come out on different bases and different fleeces. This one's really sheepy and like it's quite rustic. If you like really soft, silky superwash wool, probably not for you unless you want to branch out. But this is like quite solid, yeah, rustic and cozy, warm, yeah, robust, which is quite how I like my socks, to be honest. Breathable and robust. Good for walking, good for gardening, good for chilly evenings. So I've been quite busy with knitting. Trying to think what else I've done knitting wise. I can't believe I nearly forgot. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I've been working on my Briar Shawl. I'm really excited about this. I haven't really put it down. I have been planning this shawl for about 1.5 years, and umming and ahhing about the construction of it and how to really bring to life the vision I had. And I've called it the Briar Shawl because I really enjoy foraging. I love going blackberry picking like the rest of the British nation. And I love also choosing rose hips from the hedgerows and just looking at all of the different plants who are like nestled up there and thinking about all the little animals who are snuggling up underneath in the hedgerows in autumn and winter. And I just think hedgerows are just the most lovely thing. I really associate them with my childhood, walking down lanes and sort of rummaging around and not being able to see over them, and over the year they just look so different. How they've got frothy cow parsley in the spring, how in the summer they're full of fruit, and then the autumn and the winter everything starts to fade apart from the pops of bright red rose hips and then the white fluffy old man's beard you get from the wild honeysuckle in the winter. And they're just beautiful. I love them, and I loved the idea of like briar and brambles together. I love that as an idea. I also love it because of the main theme tune to The Detectorists, which is one of my favourite programmes ever, the Johnny Flynn song, which sings about briars and brambles. So I thought that this would make a perfect accompaniment to my bramble skirt. But I came up with the name Briar about a year ago, so the bramble skirt came after. Anyway, so I've been sketching and knitting swatches for a long time, and this is what I came up with. I'm really happy with it. So I've got a twisted rib again, edge, and then there's cabling which makes this crisscross of sort of roots and twisted brambly stems leading up to the tops of the hedgerows where you get the plants and then little rose hip berries. And then because that's quite a lot of textured pattern, I love the look of it, but I didn't want it to be sort of lost in a whole shawl of textured pattern. I really wanted this to look like it was reaching up to the sky with little bits of pollen and leaves and things floating off into the air. And I have faded the shawl into these little textured wraps. But the way I've constructed it's quite different. So this is the shawl. Try not to set it on fire with my candle. I've nearly finished. It is cast on one of the short edges and then knitted in this direction and decreased down the long neck edge at a rate which means, it ends up as a triangular shawl. I really like this construction because I really enjoy the sort of different direction of the textured stitch to what you often see, but also it means that this edge at the top, you can see it's draping down a bit, and that's because it's sort of on the bias, like diagonal to the main stitch direction, which means it really drapes nicely around your neck. So it's worked out well. I'll show you how it looks so far. I think there'll be a number of different ways to wear this. If you want to be really trad, you can wear it like this and wrap it over your shoulder, displaying the textured pattern that you worked on, of course. There's the back. Let me get my hair out. You can also wear it as, I haven't finished it yet, so I'm missing a bit there, but also wear it as a scarf if you want, making sure that you obviously show off your hard work, the textured stitch. And I'll do a proper showing you how I'd wear it when I fully finished as well. Let me know what you think, but I'm in love with it, and I'm really looking forward to making it in other colours as well. I'm thinking about doing a bigger version as well, so it can scale up to like a proper big cosy wrap. So I'm going to work on that soon. It's going to be the pattern that we knit on the knitting retreat in February. So I'll tell you a bit more about that now. Our knitting retreat is going to be 6th, I think, of February until the Sunday, so it's going to be a day longer this time. and it's going to be an arrival on the Thursday, a lovely home cooked supper. There's going to be knitting galore, but we're going to be working on the Briar Shawl pattern. I'm going to show you some of the textured stitches. You can choose some hand dyed wool by me, and we're going to break up a bit of the knitting as well. There's going to be a gentle guided ramble through the Cotswold countryside outside Lucia's house. We're going to do a storytelling fibre folk event on the Saturday night. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, I do these fibre folk videos every now and again where they are fibre inspired tales where you can bring your knitting, light a candle and listen to a story while you work on your craft. It just feels like a really ancient type of gathering and like a wonderful thing to do in the depths of winter, which is kind of what the theme of the knitting retreat is about. It's about rebuilding your energy in that dark part of winter where everybody's sick of winter and they want spring to come. But actually, it's such an amazing time for us to actually nurture our energy and get ready for the busyness of the year ahead. And just clinging on to that last little bit of darkness when we're on the cusp coming into spring. And that's why we've chosen it. And the date that we have, it's next to the Festival of Imbolc, and right at the cusp of turning into spring. So we're also going to be doing some dried flower arranging. I've been picking lots of flowers from my allotment in my garden and drying them all over my wall. And I've been naturally dyeing some ribbons as well to tie around our wreaths and weaving some little willow wreaths for us. So I think it'll be a nice little break, but don't worry, you've got time to do plenty of knitting as well. But yes, the Fibre Folk storytelling evening with Hannah, who's a professional storyteller here in Stroud, I think is going to be really special by the fireside. If you want to come for a delightful 3.5 days here in Stroud, stay in a historic house, knit with some lovely people, enjoy some fibre related storytelling and some lovely home cooked nourishing food, and stay in a gorgeous bedroom, then come along. I am still figuring out a couple of last details and filming some videos. We've got a new room that we're opening up, like a loft dormitory in Lucia's house, so just sorting that out, and then we'll be able to release the tickets. So I'm very excited. Sign up to my main list on my website if you want to hear about that, and yeah, I'll probably post a video about that as well. So sorry if that was a lot of my patterns, me talking at you. It's just been like a period where I've been very, very excited and very passionate and inspired to create a lot of things. And I'm feeling like I'm very happy with the things that I've created and the things that I've made. And now I kind of want to retreat back into myself a little bit and make some things that are just for me. And I'm starting to think what those are and what I want them to be in my life and how I'll use them. Okay, inhaled some fluff. It's the hazards of wool. So I'll talk about the first thing that I want to make. So yeah, grab a cup of tea maybe and settle in for the making plans part of my video. So first thing that I want to make, that I've actually had the fabric for about a year, maybe more than a year, I'm really, really missing in my wardrobe. I've got some nice jackets that are non-waterproof, and I really need a waterproof jacket. I've got a really, really old one that I wear on rainy walks, but we really recently went on holiday to Yorkshire in our camper van and forgot our waterproof jackets, which is bold to go to Yorkshire in September and forget your waterproofs. But I mean, I could have taken my old one. It's not entirely waterproof anymore and there's things about it that annoy me. So I am going to make a Merchant & Mills Landgate jacket, and these are my fabrics. So it's in this oilskin, which probably isn't like as you know, completely waterproof like Gore-Tex or something, but it's going to be good enough for me. I'm really missing this. I think as we all come in to autumn and winter, at least in this part of the globe, it's going to be quite rainy. I still want to be getting out, you know, to the garden and going to the market, and I really want a nice jacket to wear. So I've chosen this kind of, it's not lime, it's a bit more muted than lime, maybe like a chartreuse colour. I remember it might be called citrine or something. And this cotton to line it with, because I thought I'm not going to line it with anything thick or warm. I want it as a layer that I can put over stuff all year round, and I can wear it over jumpers and things if I want. I'm really, really excited to make this. It's quite a technical sew, but it looks really good. It looks like there's nice features like around the neck, and the hood looks like it will be like a good practical shape. And I'm really needing this in my wardrobe. I'll put a picture up of the pattern, but I've been looking at other people's versions for quite a long time, and I'm really excited to make my own. So I think when I get enough time to have like a free day, because I really want to focus on this, because it does, you know, I think it will be a bit more of a technical make, then I will get started on this. It's not the sort of thing that I want to do in like half an hour windows, I don't think, not until I've got my head around it. So I'm waiting for a little bit of free time, and then I'm going to make this, and I'm very excited. Have any of you made the landscape before? It'd be good to know if you've got any tips or anything about your experience making it, really. I'm very excited. I hope it works. So I'm going to take it slow, wait for some proper time, and I'm going to make myself a nice autumn jacket. The other thing is, I might make this, I've got some time tomorrow, and I might make a Zadie wrap dress. So I made one nearly this time last year in a like cotton, flowery cotton, which is lovely, but feels quite like almost a bit formal. So I don't wear it out more every day. But I bought this as a remnant from Merchant Mills with a birthday voucher actually. So it's my birthday in July. And I think it will make a great Zadie wrap dress. And I've made the Zadie tons. I've got a video up about making the Zadies, so I've made a lot of versions. So I know it's the sort of thing I can whip up, you know, not without paying attention, but without having to check too much, because I made it a lot. And I just know how it's going to go. So I'm not learning, I don't have to focus like I do on a brand new pattern, especially a technical pattern. So I think that would be a nice little thing to make for myself. And I'm really, really excited about building my wardrobe into something that is really like a practical everyday wardrobe. I've started rehoming some like earlier makes that I made when I thought, oh, I love that pattern, I love how it looks on that person, but actually it's got no role in my life, and I don't need, you know, that many sort of formally dresses and things. I don't tend to need them. A couple is nice, but there's a lot that I didn't feel like me in. So I've started rehoming them. I did a bit of a sale a couple of months ago now, and I've taken quite a lot to charity as well. I keep meaning to put them on these videos and see if anybody wants them, but I don't know if I'll get around to that today, maybe next time. But yeah, I think this will be great. I can really see me wearing this with my little green rota cardigan and nice cozy jumpers over winter, little vests and things. So I'm really excited to make that, and I think that'll be a nice like refresher project where it's just something for me, and it's something I'll get a lot of use out of. So that's cool. The other thing I'm going to make is, oh, I mentioned the ninnies, so I'm going to make another pair. I've also had this fabric for a long time, and it's a stripy blue linen, and I think it'll look really cool having those like vertical stripes on the ninnies. Like we are starting to lose the light a little bit now, so you can, I'm not too sort of dark, and you can see the colours okay. In fact, the blue's looking really nice in this evening light. I love this fabric so much I've kept it because I hadn't wanted to use it. I find that a lot with really lovely fabric, trying to, you know, take the jump into cutting into it and deciding something to make with it. Sorry, the light changed, my camera cut out. And yeah, I'm going to make the ninnies because I know I love them. I made them in that black linen, and it was a good test. So that'd be a nice easy one too. Oh yeah, the other thing. So when I did the sewing retreat in May, some of the lovely people gave me bits of their fabric scraps. So thank you, Judy, thank you, Lucia, thank you, Ali. They all go perfectly well together. Yeah, I'm going to make a little patchwork project with them. I need another like tote bag. So I think I might do like a patchwork quilted tote bag with them, and then just use fabric scraps that people have given me from like the retreat. And also I've been doing a wind dress series of workshops here in Stroud, and some people are giving me their fabric too. So I think making a little scrappy tote bag from the fabric, which is really nice memories of the people I've met and taught and the projects that they've made, and I'd like to see them all together as a lovely patchwork project. I think that would be so sweet. So I'm definitely going to do that. I'm really excited about doing that. It's something I thought about not long after they gave me the scraps. So thank you if you're watching. I will show you it when it's done. And oh yeah, one more thing, and now this is starting to verge into the is this too many projects realm, but I've got this brown cord. I think it's like 8 whale. It's quite shiny in this light, but I think it'll look less shiny and smart when I sew it up, hopefully. I want more dungarees. I'm gonna make, I've been saying this for ages, but I'm gonna make a gardening pair. I've got a brown canvas down there, but I want another pair as well because they're so warm, and I think this cord is going to be so lovely and warm for winter. And I'm really into not having fitted things around my waist at the moment. So yeah, I think this cord will be lovely. I'm not sure if I'll make the Merchant Wells Harleen dungarees. If I do, I'll do some tweaks. I'll put up a picture of mine. I love them and I wear them a lot, but they're really quite baggy around the hips and the sort of gap above the hips, like too much. And it means they kind of like really sag down and they pull down the straps quite a bit, and it feels a little bit too baggy. So I might do some tweaks by narrowing the hips and figuring out that situation above it. Or I might give the Jenny overalls a go, or maybe do a bit of a mash-up between them. I'm not sure, but I'm on the hunt. I'm going to think a bit about maybe not buying a new pattern, but hacking ones I've got or doing a bit of a mash-up between them. But I've got quite a lot of this brown cord, and I think it'll be lovely to have this, and I'm really picturing it with like colour work, jumpers in the winter, and just all kind of cosy layers really. That's exciting. Those are all of my sewing plans. I do have some knitting plans as well. I'm going to finish my Briar Shawl, and I am going to knit a pelican vest. I'll show you the yarn for that as well. It's more walnut dye, but it's been on a grey base on the same Jacob yarn, but a DK weight, which is kind of coming up as a worsted. And dyeing it with alum on the grey base means it's come up this amazing rich olive, which is just is like neck and neck with rust for being my favourite colour. And yeah, I'm super excited. The yarn is really robust, like I said, so I think it's going to have a really nice like architectural structure, so I'm very excited. So as soon as I'm finished with my like market samples and things, then I am going to knit that. I just wanted to show you some of the yarns that I've been working on. So I've got this sort of, the colour's coming up funny now, but trust me that it's like a nice mid-rusty colour with speckles. This is a darker version of the concoction yarn that I showed you in the midsummer video, and it's actually, despite the light, like a dusky purple colour, and then it's got sort of really, really dark green speckles throughout and the odd bit of rust too, and that one feels really witchy to me and I really love it. This one I think I'm going to call Corrosion because it really reminds me of rust. And like metal sort of oxidizing. It's got a walnut base, and then it's got bits of orange and rust, and then this lovely like tealy blue. And I think that, yeah, I've got a few of those, and I think that I just either make a lovely socks, this is my Corridale, or an awesome like t-shirt or shawl project. What have I got here? Oh yeah, nice warm yellowy green. I haven't got a name for that one yet. This is a drop in the ocean. Believe me, I've got a lot down there of various different autumnal shades. So I'm taking this to Tetbury Wool Fair on the 20th of October, and then I'm also going to Stitch Fest at the Newby Racecourse, which is on the 2nd and 3rd of November. I'm really excited about going to Stitch Fest as well, because I'm going on a little holiday in my camper van beforehand over Halloween, which I'm very excited about. Going to a little gig where they're doing like stories of folklore and music, and then I'm going to do some walking around and a bit of walking, which so I need to have my jacket by then. It's been that kind of time of year where it's all come together, and it's at the culmination of a lot of work. It all seems to be happening at the same time, so I hope that wasn't overload for you. I hope that was interesting or enjoyable, and it's nice to share it with you as well. I'm trying to make this more of my life. You know, it's a dream of mine that I can actually make, you know, a life out of fibre and connecting with people about fibre, teaching, sharing, learning myself, learning new skills, very old skills, but new to me. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm wishing you the coziest start to autumn, and I'll be back soon with a little everyday outfits in autumn video and also how I made my Frankly bag. That's coming soon too. So happy autumn, happy making, and I'll catch up with you soon. Oh, and enjoy some little clips from my recent holidays to Yorkshire.